What's up, everybody? Welcome to the House of Mario, the South Australian Nintendo podcast that is backed by 120 Power Star rating. I'm your host, Drew Agnew, and the doors to episode 173 are open. This week on the show, we're talking about Pokemon's 25th anniversary plans and much more. There was a very nice Nintendo Switch announced, which we'll talk about too. And to talk all about that is my fresh from work. It's Bryce DeWitt.
That's me.
That's Bryce.
I'm work fresh.
You're so fresh.
I'm so fresh.
Very fresh.
Fresh work of Millicent, South Australia. There you go.
Yeah. So fresh.
In southeast South Australia, born and raised, where I went to work and spend most of my day.
Yep, so there's an absolutely fantastic intro for 2021. Yeah. So, Bryce, first episode of the year. Excited to get back into it?
Yes, yeah. Now that everything's semi-sorted.
Semi-sorted, yeah.
Semi-sorted.
You're down to 2 jobs instead of 3 jobs?
Yeah, one job and one runaround job that's sort of on and off, and then TAFE.
Yeah. So, cut down on that hospitality. There goes the money. We're just thinking about how broke you're going to be now. It's like, oh no.
Oh yeah, I'm going to have to be more like wary of funds now, but whatever. I got to do it for my future. That's what it is.
Yeah.
I think like something important I've learned doing the 3 jobs over the last few months is that really, as good as the money is, sometimes it is just a pure waste of time and you need to work on yourself. You know, like the money's good and that was good, but I'm not getting anywhere working the same thing over and over again and not getting any education done. And, I could be working a better paying job rather than 3 jobs. So unfortunately, it is kind of what it is. Yeah.
It's definitely like a thing where you got to like try and prioritize your time, whether it's like, you can work all the time and you can make the money, but, whether your education and get somewhere maybe in a different career, in a different field or...
Well, that's right, yeah. And like, I think, working the 3 jobs for some time, that was, it was a really big up in like the sense of the money's good. I'm enjoying sort of where I'm at the moment sort of thing. It got really harsh some weeks and that sucked, but, we won't be working together anymore, at least not as often. So we haven't, not that we've worked together in a year anyway. Like
I've barely seen you.
Yeah, exactly. So it is sort of a case of, as much as I'll sort of miss Drew and the other rest of the crew, from the other job, because I do. I miss them already. They were really good to work with. It's time to move on and push to a different...
You'll still be working with me on the podcast, though.
On the podcast. Yeah. Sometimes at the pub until I get my shit sorted, but we'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
It's all time.
Yes. Yeah, so this weekend, actually, I just want to mention this before we get into things. If anyone's been following sort of the hashtag on Twitter, Gaming for Guru, a lot of content creators were getting together streaming to help raise money for Nintendo Guru, who has been hospitalized with COVID-19 since Halloween. It's been months of him being in there, and he is an ally and a very good friend of us here at the House of Mario. And
yeah, absolutely.
I'm happy to announce at the time of recording, we are at $19,000 to go towards Guru's medical bills and everything. So anyone who's checked out the streams or even checked out the GoFundMe, thank you very much for that. It means a lot to us, and it certainly means a lot to Bobby and his family.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, what a tough thing to sort of go through at this time where there's no work in America and like everything that sort of goes attached with it, a lot of unemployment and everything. Getting COVID and then going into the hospital system, which is already, ludicrous over there. It's as it's been very much described to me, it is a business, the medical system. It's not even, about healthcare per se. It's just about how much money they can get out of you for most of the time. And there's no real way around it.
Yeah.
Forever debt and all that. So I'm very glad to hear that he's getting the support he needs. Obviously, he's been on here a couple times now, I think.
Yeah, 2 times.
So, Bobby, I hope you're doing okay, man. Honestly, I really do. Yeah. And I'm glad that you got the support that you needed from the community. And yeah, it was really, really heartwarming to see. I hope you're all right.
Yeah. Let's have a cheers to him. We got a couple of drinks here.
Yep.
Cheers to Bobby. Cheers
Bobby.
to 2021. Hopefully a recovery for him and success, and the world go back to a relatively normal state. At least
It'll still take some time, but
at least pivot towards there anyway.
That's right. Yeah. And I mean, like, we'll get there eventually, I think, but it is very testing. Cheers.
Cheers, my man.
Thank you.
We've got cans, so there's no nice little chink.
XPA.
XPA, yeah, not too bad.
Yeah,
Not
it's
too
good
bad at all.
XPA, yeah. Though I think I'm going to be drinking a fair bit of... Oh, wait, no, they haven't got Little Ripper on tap anymore at Beachport. Damn it. We're having a drinking night next weekend, and I'm like, I've already pre-planned, like, I want to be drinking.
He's booked the table.
I booked the table.
Is it a 2-seat table?
Yes,
nice
mate.
We've got a date.
Yeah, we've got a date.
Oh,
We've got a nice date. We're going to sit down, have dinner, and drink a shit ton of beer because why not, right? We haven't done that in a while, so...
Yeah, probably like a year or two at this point.
At least. At least. It's been a very long time, so let's...
Two mates catching up over some beers.
Well, that's it, yeah. And then crashing out at Beachport and waking up the next morning to a million phone calls from... that's probably...
They're going to be a smart ass there too. They're going to light a candle.
Yeah.
I put $100 on it. They're going to light a candle.
Yeah, probably. But we'll see.
I mean, it'd be quite sweet. It'll make your eyes like glimmer in the dark there. I'm like, oh, you're so beautiful, Bryce.
Oh, yeah, thank you.
Just like stroke your beard. Something.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus
Christ. What a way of thinking.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on.
Yeah, let's definitely move on. So over the last sort of few months, not a few months while I've been off, but I guess a few weeks while I've been off, you've really got into Pokemon card collecting and
So have you.
Yeah, I have too. And because basically our local toy shop, which I haven't been in for years because I grew up and I stopped going to the toy shop and I don't have kids. So I don't know about you, Bryce. You might have been in there a few times for Christmas shopping or something.
Unfortunately
I don't know.
not, no. Yeah.
But sort of in my head, the closest place was like Target or Big W or even EB Games, which is in a town over. So that's like a 30-minute drive.
And they've been sold out everywhere.
Yeah. And I was thinking to myself, like, maybe the local toy shop, Toy Kingdom, would have some like Pokemon cards. I'm like, I don't really know. I never really thought about it that much, but you after work one day, you took the plunge, you went in there and bought some. I'm like, well, they do have them. So then it put it in my head and I went in there too and picked some up.
Yeah, yeah. And then it's sort of just gone from there. Yeah. But you know what? It's cathartic and it's nice. And
it is nice, yeah.
It's sort of keeping me entertained.
Because like with the big sort of, renaissance for Pokemon cards over the last, 6 months or so, since like the first edition cards were going up in price that much, and a lot of YouTubers and content creators have been opening them up and spending a lot of their money on them. Unbelievable amounts of money, which I can't even comprehend. Yeah.
Amounts of money that I definitely won't spend on.
Even if I wanted to, I'm like, you know what, bugger it, I'm going to spend $400,000 on a box of Pokemon cards. No, yeah, it's not going to happen. I don't have that money.
Just be like, bugger it, I'm just going to buy a card printing machine and print them myself.
Yeah, I think so.
Spend less money doing that.
Yeah, and like a lot of people do that. That is not an uncommon thing.
No,
because I was going through with all this sort of like Pokemon hype and that. I went through my original collection. A couple of days ago, just going through my original cards and that, just seeing what I had because I couldn't remember. See if I got anything like valuable in there or anything, and I didn't really. I had like a very tiny collection. I probably only had like a couple of booster packs as a kid, and my grandfather actually, when he went back home to the UK for like see family and friends, and he came back to Australia, he brought back like a Japanese booster pack.
Yeah.
Because at the time, he knew I was into the Pokemon because like the first Pokemon movie first came out and all that. So he must have just brought one booster pack back, and like that booster pack is just like cemented in my mind. Just like it just reminds me of him. Whenever I see like the Japanese cards, that's what I think about.
Yeah.
So Bryce was kind enough to give me some like card protectors and sleeves and stuff. Yeah. And I sleeved them all up. There's no value in them at all. They're just like normal trainer cards and a few Pokemon cards. I got like a holo Dark Hypno
Yeah,
which is worth like $30 or something. I don't really know.
There was, I think it was the Kangaskhan or maybe the Pidgeot. You've got one of the two. It's worth worth 60. Something like that.
Yeah, because I googled it. I'm like, oh, how much is Kangaskhan worth? And it comes out like $300. I'm like, oh, sweet. And Bryce, I say to Bryce, he's like, oh, really? I'm like, oh, maybe. And he comes back, he's like, nah, man, it's like $30.
Yeah, you're gonna have a look around for that.
Yeah, obviously. I'm just like, imagine if I sell it to like some poor, unexpected like person, like, yeah, no, it's the $300 card. And they're like, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah,
$300.
It was probably the first edition you were looking at too, and
yeah, it
And
was.
I brought that up, and I'm like, yeah, that's not first edition, that's unlimited. So
yeah,
yeah, there you go. But yeah, that being said, you've used some of those sleeves up, which means you've got less of those precious sleeves for our February thing.
Yeah. So I guess catch everyone up. We've sort of been talking over the last couple of weeks what we're going to do for, I guess, Pokemon's 25th year anniversary. It's a series that means a lot to both to Bryce and I.
Yeah.
If you listen to a lot of our podcasting in 2019, where we were sort of following all the, National Dex nonsense and all that stuff on the lead up to Sword and Shield, you know that we're very passionate about Pokemon.
Yeah.
Probably a bit too passionate. I reckon we got to turn it down a bit sometimes. But, you know, we want the best for it because we really do care about it.
Yeah.
And we're just really excited to sort of celebrate 25 years, all the positive things and how it reinforced, really did reinforce me as a person as far as my hobbies and that go. I got into Nintendo and gaming through Pokemon, and it's, now considered my, biggest hobby.
Yeah.
So I've got a lot to give to Pokemon. So over the month on the House of Mario Encore feed, so there is a link to the House of Mario Encore on podcast services. You can just search the House of Mario and it should come up with the House of Mario as well. But we'll be doing episodes all February celebrating the House of Mario Encore with different guests and also solo episodes just talking about different topics, stuff like that. The first one, I'm going to be going over my top 25 favorite Pokemon and just talking about each one and why it means a lot to me and all that. So I'm looking forward to getting into that. And we're going to be wrapping up the month with a stream on twitch.tv/iDruby, where we're going to be sort of opening our Shining Fates Pokemon cards.
Whether it'll be the end of the month or not is the other question, though, because I know that you're far too excited to wait that long.
Yeah, so they come out on the 19th, and I don't know if I can hold them.
We'll
see. We'll see how we go. We'll keep everyone up to date. But yeah, really looking forward to that set. So anyone that doesn't pay a lot of attention to Pokemon cards, and I assume that that's a fair few people because we haven't really talked about Pokemon cards, and just the type of audience we've got here doesn't necessarily care about the trading cards. But it's basically like a special set that's coming out, and it's going to have a lot of shiny Pokemon in it.
Yep.
Over 100, which is pretty exciting.
Yeah, so there's a few sets throughout Pokemon's history, and this is one of them where they don't sell the full booster boxes or individual boosters. They only sell specific packs of them. So in this case, like the 3-pack blisters and the Elite Trainer boxes and the mini tins and the large tins and stuff like that, but they don't actually sell individual boosters. So it is one of those sets that is relatively, if you want to put it sort of lightly, more expensive to buy into.
It's like it works at about $10 a booster pack.
Yes,
so
that's right. Yeah,
instead of $7 here in Australia.
But it is also a very special set that will never repeat, sort of thing. Once it's gone, and you won't see those cards again. Whether they be sort of like shiny Pokemon, which is the main draw towards these things, is the shiny Pokemon. Including the big old elusive VMAX Black Charizard, which nice card. Nice card.
Very nice card, and it will be worth a lot if you hold on to it.
Absolutely, yeah. And I think we'll be happy with whatever we get from them anyway, because it is a limited edition.
If the card itself is glossy and shines, I'm happy.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's going to be a few in that set anyway, and it's definitely going to be a lot of fun to pull through. The last time they did a set like this was actually during Sun and Moon, and that was you could get like shiny GXs and stuff like that. Whereas in comparison to this set you can get shiny VMAXs or Vs or anything in between as well. So I'm fairly excited for it. It'll probably be the last one for a little bit. I sort of dip into. I don't know whether I'm going to dip into Battle Styles yet or.
Yeah, so Battle Styles is like the next set, and it's coming out in March.
Yeah, based around Urshifu.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think my wallet would have taken such a beating, but whether I want to get the next set or not, I won't. Because, I pre-ordered like a fair bit of stuff from EB Games. I'm like, I don't know if I can warrant this. It's like, $400 worth of Pokemon cards, literally. I'm like, It's not quite the $400,000 on the original set, but $400 is still $400 on cardboard.
Did you ever decide if you were going to cut off some of those orders?
Not yet. I don't know just yet.
Well, offer's still there.
So Bryce wants to buy them off me.
Yeah, so we'll even it out. I'll pay for the ones that he buys and didn't cancel, which is probably what's going to happen anyway, and then we'll even it out to 30 each.
Yeah, it's one of those things though. If I'm like, all right, I'll cancel it, and like, then you come along, you buy it, and you get like the VMAX Charizard, I'll fucking want to kill myself. Like, God damn it!
Yeah, you got to pick your battles.
Yeah. Then like that's the thing. You just keep on thinking that. It's, what's an extra $100? I might get that.
Yeah.
It's so dangerous. I know why I didn't let myself get into Pokemon cards.
Yeah,
because it's so fucking dangerous. I'm like, what's an extra $7? What's an extra $100? Oh, bugger! That's a nice looking premium box. What's an extra $200?
Yeah, exactly.
It already comes with a Zamazenta and a fucking Zacian. Like, why not?
You went and got that premium set.
No, I did not. No, I did not.
No.
I was so close. I was like, it comes with a metal coin. Wow. And it folds out. It's a very nice looking box. God, Pokemon Company makes some very nice looking cardboard. I tell you what, it's a lot nicer than Nintendo's cardboard, which I bought. At least Labo's not even glossy. It's not even glossy. At least Pokemon Company put some gloss on it.
Holographic.
Oh, fuck. I want a holographic fucking thing that buzzed around the floor with your Joy-Con. Like, wow, this is fantastic.
Wow, it's shiny.
No, it's not even shiny. So, this is dangerous, ladies and gentlemen. So my sort of in my head, my limit is I want to get a decent amount of Shining Fates because those cards are fun to collect. Mm-hmm. And they might go up in value. I probably won't sell them, but it's a nice thing in the back of your head. Like, this is worth something. And then for the 25th anniversary, they're releasing jumbo cards, which are basically re-releasing.
They're also releasing another set in October, which will probably, be the next one I jump into. Which reminds me, I still haven't seen your new puppy yet, so I better do that before I go to.
You haven't seen my puppy? Yes, you have.
Your new one.
Cassie?
Yeah.
You've seen her.
I swear you have. I swear I haven't.
That's what you have, but all right, you can see her after. She's growing up.
Is she?
Yeah, she is.
Go, yeah.
No, she's not growing up. She's dead. She's just.
Oh shit.
No, of course she's not dead.
But yeah. Anyway. Yeah. Sorry. Dog barking got my attention. So I think it's personally going to be really fun to do. I'm very keen for it. Unfortunately, again, no booster boxes, so this is very big on the wallet, but I'll be very keen to do it regardless.
So, out of curiosity, how much money in pre-orders do you have down?
200.
So you're a bit more responsible. I appreciate that.
A little bit more responsible, but like I said, I'm happy to buy the remaining, like the evening out boosters from you, which I think we equated to like 7 or 8. Yeah, and so that's if you want to do that, mate.
Yeah, we'll see how much of a tight ass I am.
At the end of the day, like most of these cards are pretty much just going to be sitting in a fucking vault anyway. And I mean, if it come to it, right, and you sold me 7 booster packs and one of them had a VMAX Charizard in it that was shiny, all right. I'll tell you what,
ruins our friendship.
No. I'll tell you what, I will sleeve it, whatever, get it done, send it off to PSA, right, and we will keep it in a vault and we will split the money when we sell it. Deal. How's that sound? All right. Sound good?
Yeah, that sounds all right.
There you go. All right, cool. I reckon that sounds like a pretty fucking good deal.
Yeah, then I get up like, no, you're not fucking getting my card.
Yeah, you're like, that's my $170 million in 30 years' time, mate.
Yeah. Like, I've really gone down the rabbit hole of just watching like first edition breaks. Like a lot of their content creators buying like the first edition of the original Pokemon cards and buying them for like such a large amount. But basically, they sell off each pack to sort of get back the cost of the actual box.
Yeah.
And then they basically treat it as gambling. Like if they do manage to get like a Venusaur, Blastoise, Charizard, or a Pikachu card or something, or like a multiple amount of like good cards, they can make their money back and make a profit. So it's like modern day gambling.
In a way, yeah.
It's like gambling, and it's also like just seeing like people like Logan Paul and like people our age who think back on Pokemon really fondly, and just it's like modern day art how these cards are treated. It's fascinating. It's so fascinating.
Yeah.
Like just trading cards when we were kids.
Yes, here. This is a error card right here.
Yes.
It's actually there's a guy on Reddit.
It's so funny. I love it so much though.
There's a guy on Reddit I really want to like point attention to, but I can't remember his username. But he collects error cards, and that's all he collects is like error cards.
Yeah.
And some of the fucking error cards. Oh my god! Because people are just like, oh, I've got this error card I want to get rid of, and everybody's just like, username whatever, talk to him. And some of the error cards I've seen are absolutely mental. There's like a Orbeetle VMAX, which is like so poorly printed that like it's like set diagonally on the card, so there's just this big white strip at the bottom, in the bottom and top corners,
Right, yeah.
and it's like completely off center, and it just looks absolutely mad. I'm just like, how did that get through quality testing? I'm like, holy shit. And those are the cards that are going to be worth money like in the long run, because you don't see fuck all of them. Like they're huge realistically. Like obviously they don't look any pretty to look at in comparison to an actual thing, but for something like that to come off the print, and yeah, like that's absolutely crazy. And some of them that come off the print and they've got like the, you know how on sort of like printers they'd have like the yellow, blue and red and the black and all that, like the color testing bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got cards that have that on the top of them, like on a little white blank space, because they're cut incorrectly and cut near the end of the line and stuff like that. Like that's yeah, those are the cards that are going to be worth anything. You know, they're pretty expensive.
Yeah, I don't. Everyone to their own, but I couldn't imagine spending like hundreds or thousands of dollars, and you got like a collection of just like fucked cards.
Oh no, yeah.
Like,
by all means, they don't sell for much now, but in the future they are one of a kind cards, and you'll never see them ever again. So having something like that in the future, a lot of people don't think much of them now. They're like, shit, my holographic Charizard has a white edge on it that it was obviously a printer error, and they're like, this is worth nothing, but 20 years, one of a kind, you'll never see it ever again, and that will sell for so much money.
yeah. Imagine just like, maybe not so much us, but our parents. Imagine the hindsight where you're just like, why didn't I go to my local toy shop?
Yeah.
And buy a box?
Yeah.
And it's like, it's things like that. Like you can say that now, but how do you keep an eye on it? Like today, what's going to be worth that much in 20 years? Because you cannot predict that in like 2000, that these Pokemon cards, the first print, they're going to be opened up on the internet by YouTubers, and that's going to drive the price up, because that's creating demand through the audience and through them actually.
Yeah.
Like the internet doesn't exist back then. So how do you have the hindsight in 2020 to be like, this is a new cartoon, or like whether it's trading cards or collectibles or something, how do you have the hindsight to now buy like 5 of like boxes of something and keep it? That's what you got to think about. I don't know.
People are still doing it with Pokemon cards though, because like at the end of the day, that franchise will never die.
No.
So unfortunately, you know, like
unfortunately, it will never die.
No. I mean, like, unfortunately, it's become a common problem now that you can't find cards anywhere, like at all. So, because people have caught on, they're
so
just
like these shining fates, should we keep a tin? Like, you know,
I don't know if I'd go that far. I would prefer to open them up and see.
Yeah, that's the thing. I'll have it like in my cupboard. I'm like, oh, there's the Charizard in there.
It's like I joined like a TCG sellers group or whatever, and there is literally a guy in there that's just like looking to sell all these like hidden fates or whatever. He's just like, I have realized that I am not able to keep these things without opening them. He opened two of the big tins. He's
That's
like,
me. That's me.
He's like,
That
all
would be
right, no, I can't do this because they're just gonna fucking lose value if I keep doing this. He's like, all right, I need to sell these. So he actually like went off and he's like, all right, I'm gonna sell these. This is bad. No, because they're losing value by me opening them. Like the whole point was me to keep a hold of them and for them to end up like first editions, but this isn't happening. It's absolutely, yeah, you know. And I would be the same.
Yeah, I was about to say, think about if you had that in your house. You'd be like, I might just open a pack.
That's right. Yeah. Like I couldn't do it. So I would prefer to open them and then get if I get a good card, get it graded, send it off to PSA. Cool. It's in a case. All right, I can look at it. I'm not going to have the urge to take it out and be like, oh, look at this. You know, I can see it from a case. And I know that I've pulled it. I'm like, great, I got my use out of it, you know, because it doesn't matter at the end of the day anyway. All the big cards and shit like that, I have no intention of playing them, like the VMAX and all that, because to be completely honest with you, the rule set for VMAX or GX or what have you, it makes for shorter games of Pokemon. And to be honest, I'd rather just play a longer game of Pokemon with no V cards and just keep those cards because I know they're going to go up in value. If that makes sense.
Yeah. So I dare say our collecting shenanigans is going to play out over 2021 and going to be playing the TCG a bit more too. So that should be fun.
Yeah. And if anybody's playing the TCG online, I know that, you know, you get the main way to prioritize cards from the for the game is through booster packs, but you can actually buy the code cards online, whether it be for starter decks or booster packs, and they're cheap. You know, like for the starter decks, you can pay $2 for a code card rather than paying for the whole thing, which is like $25 and getting a code card for it. And then you can get booster packs for like 15 cents a pop. You know, so if anybody does get interested in playing the TCG online, or is just interested in TCG in general, as outdated as the app feels, do consider the trading card game app, because it's actually a really cheap way to learn the TCG in a more enclosed environment, I guess.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing.
Well, that's what I'm doing. That's what I have been doing, and I've been having a lot of fun with it, so that's good. Yeah, but I would like to play the TCG physically as well, since I'm already opening cards, but, you know, as far as rule sets go, I would rather just keep those Vs and VMAXs sleeved and never take them out and just play the standard rule set, if that makes sense.
Yeah, keep them nice and
yeah.
Because I was watching one of like the finals for the Oceania trading card game, the trading card game finals, and like they've got all their cards sleeved, but they're just like quickly like shuffling them and stuff, and like you can see them like bending like the hollow cards and that. You're like, ooh.
Yeah, and you're like,
as someone who's just been watching a collector just like pull them, I'm like, ooh, and like just like lightly put them into a sleeve and like barely touch it.
Yeah,
treat it like glass. When you got people just like actually playing with them, just
it's
smash them through them.
I've got a really nice Piers card, and it's like full art. It looks absolutely gorgeous in realism. I think it's like a $10 to $15 card, right? And I've hard sleeved that now that I've sort of got those sleeves, because I'm like, that is a very pretty card and I do not want to use that. But there is a standard version of that card. Like, I would not choose to use the full art version of that card if standard was an option.
Yeah.
Like, no way.
You might just want to show off to your opponents. Be like, oh, look at this glossy one I've got.
That's what the TCG online is for. I have like 15 fucking shiny Charizards and fucking a rainbow VMAX or two and shit like that, because the code cards are so fucking cheap that it really doesn't matter at all. So
not quite $7.
No.
Anyway, better move on.
Yes.
Because I know a lot of people might not give a fuck about this. But it's just shenanigans we've been on for the last month.
Since we've been off.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's been fun.
It's been scary, to be honest. Expensive.
It's fun.
Anyway, let's move on, Bryce. So a game on Switch, Monster Hunter Rise got a demo. You've been playing it last week or so.
Yep.
What's your initial impressions of the game?
Actually, does that end this week? I think that ends this week.
Yeah,
January
so
20th.
ends quickly, yeah.
It feels like bugger all away. I'd like more time in it. So have you not touched it at all?
No.
Fucking, you need to touch it before it goes away.
So,
it's this week it goes away.
The problem is with the Switch at the moment. I turn it on, I just want to play Smash Bros. So I'm just playing Smash Bros. I'm collecting the spirits.
Yeah.
I'm 50 away. That's all I want to play.
Yeah, same. But you got 2 10-minute hunts to do. Just do them.
All right.
Just do them. Because, okay, and this is something we talked about when World was sort of the primary go, and I will still play World because I think World is an absolutely gorgeous game, and it's a very solid experience. But something that Rise does very well is it learns what World did better and what made World such a success. So there is a few things that have changed, like, mounting monsters is not really a thing anymore. Now you use wire bugs to sort of, what do they call it? Ride, I guess, monster ride or whatever. And you can do things with that monster, whether it be charging them into walls or you could fight other monsters with those monsters and stuff like that. They've added a whole new variety of different combos and stuff like that for all weapons, which is great. Instead of having 2 Palico like you generally did in single player mode, you now have a Palico and a Palamute. When you play online now, you can choose to take either one with you, whether it be Palico or Palamute.
What about both?
No.
Oh, I want my dog and my cat.
No, only in duos can you have duos or solos. You can have both.
Okay.
And then single player, 4-player multiplayer. You choose one or the other.
Yeah.
And obviously they offer different things depending on what you do. Palamute, you can. Well, we'll talk about the Palamute in a second, but the Palicos, they do the general thing. You give them a specific weapon. And they'll do different things for your party, whether it be hunting horns for healing and all that stuff. And they've got their own gadgets and what have you. But the Palamute is a completely new addition. And honestly, it is a fantastic addition to the game. I know that wire bugs are supposed to be like the main feature. It's supposed to make you, climbing all over terrain, feeling like a ninja in like this sort of Edo-Japanese setting type of thing, which is awesome. But the Palamute is probably the funnest addition to the game, and is probably honestly going to be one of the more useful additions to the game. Precedenting the Palamute in World, they had Tail Riders, which was like monsters you befriended in each zone, and you could ride them to a destination.
Yep.
Whereas the Palamute now is more of a free roaming type of monster. Well, it's not really a monster; it's your pet dog, I guess. But whereas Tail Riders followed a specific path, Palamute are free roam. So it feels like you're playing, say, Wolflink in Twilight Princess and stuff like that, and they can attack and sort of. You can dismount off of them for flying attacks. You can get to destinations quicker and stuff like that. They're, a really good addition. And something that makes Rise feel even more of a bump up from World rather than Gen U. I guess, like more of a sequel to that than Gen U. The game is going to be awesome. The demo has sort of really proven that there's a lot of creative ways that you can use wire bugs and the interaction, like with the environment around you. You can sort of use your wire bug to jump up in the air, then run off a wall, then jump off the wall into like a slam attack with a hammer or something like that.
Yeah,
it's really creative, and it's something that I even said when we were first talking about the Rise announcement that Rise needed to do in order for it to be as successful as World was. It needed to be very much like World, and for Monster Hunter going forward, it needed to become the entire series needed to become World. I know that a lot of people love Gen U and sort of like the games preceding it and how they operated and stuff like that, but the non-interconnected maps with all these loading zones and the clunky way the game feels and the ways they tried to make it fresh were not really up for standard in the modern era of gaming, where things are a lot more free and less restrictive. And like you think of games like, I guess more recently Valhalla, but then Breath of the Wild, and sort of like that, where there's less loading zones, less time stuffing around and actually playing the game. And Rise is doing it very beautifully. The demo has 2 hunts. You have 30 attempts online, unlimited offline.
That's cool. Yep.
And you can try out you can go through every weapon twice, plus 2 on top of it. So you can try out literally everything. You've only got 2 days left to play it. But honestly, if you've ever been curious about Monster Hunter, World, I have always said, is the place to start in the new age because honestly, it is the better experience for newcomers because it does not feel old and clunky and hard to get used to.
What about the newcomers for this game? Like a lot of people might not have a Switch.
Well,
sorry, an Xbox or a PlayStation.
yeah. No, this is also a good place to start.
Yeah.
Like on Switch. That sort of was what I was rolling into.
Yeah.
World is a fantastic place to start. But however, if you've been restricted on platform of choice, Rise is going to be an absolutely fantastic way to get into it. I see this game, hitting all the marks that it needs to. It's now no longer a niche crowd that enjoys Monster Hunter in general, sorry, thanks to World. It is a much larger crowd, and this game is going to appease World fans pretty well. There's a lot going on in it that is not hard to understand, and if you played World, you're going to grasp it very quickly. If you haven't, it is a fantastic game to get into. And honestly, it's a good contender for one of the games of the year potentially. I know there's a lot coming out this year, and that's a lot to hold by. You got God of War and potentially Breath of the Wild 2 and stuff like that. But as a multiplayer experience, it's going to be a freaking awesome one that the Switch really needs.
Yeah,
even more so than Gen U or.
Yeah, I feel like it has been a long time since a really big third-party exclusive as well.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
like regardless, through the Capcom leaks, we found out that this game's coming to PC towards the end of the year. But regardless, it's still pretty much a Switch exclusive.
Absolutely, yeah. Switch console exclusive, and I mean I'll probably still buy it on PC as well anyway because I like playing PC. But I will definitely pick it up on launch day, and it definitely will be played to absolute hell because Monster Hunter Iceborne, as far as World goes, has been quite the incredible experience, and I've enjoyed every step of the way with it. And
yeah,
I'm going to enjoy it with this one too.
Before this conversation, I actually forgot that the demo had a time limit.
Yes, it did.
So I'm like, oh shit! So I will get on it.
January 20th. So you need to do it now.
Yep.
Yeah. At least that's from my memory. That's when it was.
From your memory.
So yeah, please get on it, play it, have a crack at it because you'll regret it if you don't, because you'll be buying into a game and being like, oh shit, I don't know what I'm buying into. But at least if you play this demo, you'll be like, oh, okay, now I get it, and you're gonna enjoy it a hell of a lot more.
Yeah, because Monster, it's right up my alley for just tonally this type of thing I would like.
Yeah.
And I need an excuse to sort of team up and have multiplayer games with friends, and it's it's the thing that is missing from my life, Bryce.
Well, we still need to play World.
We do need to play World.
I had an Xbox sitting there for there long. I'm just waiting for you to be like, I'll just play a video game, Bryce.
Well, sometimes you might need to message me and be like, because I'm the one who needs to kick up the ass.
Yeah, you do need to kick up the ass.
I need to kick up the ass for the video games.
The one time I've tried to kick you up the ass, you're like, nah, I've got stuff to do tonight.
Well, keep kicking. Keep kicking.
Just get on your fucking Xbox. You got two of the fucking things.
It's just a collection piece, Bryce. I don't actually use it.
Yeah, and obviously it looks like a fucking speaker over there. Dude.
Yeah, Series S with a nice speaker. All right, Bryce. I've been playing Smash Bros, so I don't have to talk about that. So.
No, yeah, we've talked about that plenty.
It's just like I'm at the part where I just need currency to actually summon spirits. Yeah. That's all I'm doing is grinding that. Yeah. And you know what, Bryce? I'm enjoying it. So good for me.
Cool. Play Monster Hunter World. Okay.
All right, let's get into some news, Bryce.
Yeah.
Woohoo! Yeah! Pika, pika! Is that all?
I fight for my friends.
Yahoo!
My body is still
I fight for my friends. Oh shit, was I too late?
Yeah, a bit late there, mate.
Yeah.
That's your thing there, like, haha, I'm late. The audience every time, oh, Bryce, you're such a scallywag. you missed it.
I'm so funny.
All right, Bryce, so we've got a couple of quick ones to get through before we got some, I guess, bit more of discussion points. So I just want to bring up that the Ask Awada book is up for pre-order, and it will come out on the 13th of April. So as soon as I found out about this, I went to Amazon and pre-ordered it straight away. Basically, for those that don't know, it's translation of all of Awada Asks Japanese interviews put into one book.
That's cool.
Yeah, so really cool. So I went and pre-ordered. It was like $25 Australian. Like, it really isn't too much. I guess I've been buying a lot of Pokemon cards. $25 for $25 for that much paper and cardboard. What a deal! What a deal!
Holy shit.
I didn't realize paper was this cheap. No pictures, but the words are meaningful. So yeah, just put that out there if you're interested in that. If you still watch Netflix on your Wii U or 3DS, first of all, good on you. But it is ending on the 30th of June.
No.
Yeah, I know. It's just devastating.
Yeah, where's the Switch port?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's the thing, is it's on 3DS and Wii U, but not Switch.
Yeah. Mind you, apparently, I think was it Crunchyroll or Anime Lab? One of the two were teasing a Switch app.
No, teasing it. Okay.
Yeah.
They're like, you might be able to watch anime on this screen.
On their Twitter, yeah. So I was like, whoa, not bad, yeah. Yeah, cool. Anyway, yeah.
Yeah, actually, this is just something I remembered. Would have been good to bring up on the show, actually, but Nintendo released like the top 10 most played software for 2020.
Yep.
Number 1 was Fortnite. Number 2 was YouTube. It's like, yeah.
Yeah, see, guys, there needs to be some sort of...
People like watching things on their Switch.
They do, yeah.
I personally try to avoid YouTube on the Switch because I don't want my most played game on my profile being YouTube.
No,
Seems a bit weird to me. Yeah, so I'll just watch it on my many other screens.
I find it just easier to use on my phone anyway. So
yeah. Because it works like the PS4 app and Xbox app are pretty good, and it's exactly the same on Switch, but it's just not as made for touchscreens and stuff.
No.
So, the Super Mario 35th anniversary Splatoon Splatfest has finished. And Bryce, do you know who won?
Team Star.
No,
Really?
I don't know how, but Team Mushroom wins the Splatfest. So congratulations to Mushroom. From like a visual standpoint, Star takes it away. It looks way better. Just like the Superstar, fantastic. But when you're playing a Mario game, I don't know about you, Bryce, but I'm a lot happier when I get a Mushroom.
Because it's a more of a potential upgrade.
Yeah, because like when you're a small Mario, like I'm one hit away from death. I need a Mushroom, so like whether it's in Mario World where you can do the spin and you can break blocks, or you're just a lot better as Super Mario. And like you've got to work a lot harder for the star. They're usually hidden and they're so limited like you've really got to run for it to make any use of it.
Yeah.
So for me, congratulations, Team Mushroom. Fantastic stuff. Personally, didn't play the Splatfest. What are you going to do?
I don't need to play them sometime. Yeah.
And Bryce, Super Mario World, as we talked about late last year, we're keen to go. It had a release date not a release date, but it was going to open in February. Mm-hmm. But that's no longer going to be the case. It's now delayed because in Japan, COVID numbers have spiked again, unfortunately. So
yeah, and unfortunately, they've been talking about the Olympics today too.
Yeah, no, it's not looking that good for big events like that. And even when they announced this, like fair enough that the people, the construction workers and people organising this place need a date to try and hit, to get a big project like this underway. But it's one of those things where it's like, even if it does open, are you going to feel comfortable going to a theme park in early 2021? Not going to happen, I don't think so. Not much of a surprise, but unfortunate if you're a local or something and you're going to go. So yeah.
Damn it, I don't get to see my Italian plumber man from me who lives in Japan.
I didn't get to run around my phone and collect coins.
Ba-ding.
All right, Bryce. So a bit of a big one. So this happened a week or so ago, but Nintendo has purchased Next Level Games, the team behind Luigi's Mansion 3.
Huge news.
So Bryce, how do you feel about this? So this is
strikers, please.
Yep. Put your hand. All right, make some strikers, boys.
Make some strikers. Honestly, how cool would it be to see strikers like pop up, like brand new, looking absolutely slick? Oh my god, that'd just be so fucking good. That'd be so awesome. New strikers game would be awesome. Guys, please do it. Please do it. Like I know you're very, very intent on having your Mario Tennis and Golf being the only solo games, and then you've got your All Stars collection where you just absolutely neutered Hoops 3-on-3. But just consider splitting them back up again, because honestly, Golf and tennis are nice, but so is the overactiveness of Strikers and Hoops 3-on-3. They feel a hell of a lot better to play for a different scenario. And I would love those two things to come back.
Yeah.
We've already talked about it before, but now that they have next level games, now's the time. Bring back Strikers. Strikers, if anything. If you can't bring back both of them, at least bring back Strikers.
Yeah. Like it is a really exciting thing. Like compared to, I know like the industry probably likes to compare it to maybe PlayStation buying Insomniac or even Microsoft buying Bethesda. Obviously those deals are a lot bigger. Those teams are a lot more well known, especially Bethesda being a publisher. Like it's ZeniMax just being absolutely massive. But as a Nintendo fan, this is really exciting because this is one of the only Western teams Nintendo now owns, being the other two being Retro Studios and internal teams at Nintendo America.
Yeah.
So having this team in Canada, make first party games with a first party budget and all that's going to be really exciting.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And next level games as well. They've only made good games from Mario Strikers and Mario Strikers Charged on Wii, even like Federation Force. I know it wasn't the Metroid Prime game people wanted.
Yeah.
But it was a good game. It was a decent little 3DS game.
And Luigi's Mansion 3. Like, just thinking about Luigi's Mansion 3, that game is incredible.
Yeah.
That is, that is one of the most detailed games on Switch. And that's why I have like a lot of hype for the fact that they do have this budget now and they have this standpoint. Imagine a Strikers in that level of quality. Like, oh my God. That would be like, screw FIFA. FIFA's been dying for years now anyway.
It hasn't been dying, but yeah, okay.
Yes, it has. The only reason I say it's been dying is because EA are too fucking lazy to actually do anything with the game anymore. So why bother when you could have something that looks as fucking awesome as a brand new Strikers with all that shit going towards it? Oh, just watch soccer on your TV. Play Strikers when you want to play a video game, all right?
Okay.
Because honestly, giving EA any more money than they deserve for FIFA that is the same with new roster updates every year for $100.
Like on Switch, yes, FIFA, but I so want to see you explain that to someone who buys a PlayStation to get Call of Duty, and they're a big football nut, so they buy FIFA every year because they're following the teams, they're doing all the transactions and that. Then you come along and say, just play the fucking Mario soccer game.
Fuck yeah! Like honestly, what do you get from buying, especially in the last 3 years? What do you get from buying FIFA every year? Realistically, apart from roster updates, what do you get?
I mean, you pretty much get that. I don't buy it every year, so I'm not in that camp, man.
But that's what I'm saying. Is like, what do you honestly get from buying FIFA every year? Like, really, there is nothing. It is the same game with roster updates, and they have admitted to that. Even in the Switch versions, they have said it. They have said that this is not anything but a roster update.
Because the Switch version is like a legacy edition. They call it the Switch Legacy Edition.
But we know people don't fucking just play FIFA for the single player. They play it for the multiplayer. And if that's the same thing, it's just roster updates for $100.
Yeah, it's only they only still release it on Switch because Ultimate Team is their biggest moneymaker. So if they've got Ultimate Team on Switch, it's the more places, the more the merrier. Pretty much.
Of course. But my point is that you can either watch soccer matches. If you want to build a team, just get into fantasy football. Just do that.
I love this.
Right?
You're just telling,
and then play a soccer game that's actually visually fun and like good to play.
I love that you just take like one of like the biggest audiences in the world, just watch it.
Listen, I have played FIFA and I've enjoyed FIFA, but
FIFA's great. I love FIFA.
There is a line. Yeah, I'm not even like the biggest soccer fan in the world or anything like that. I don't watch competitive matches. I don't do anything. And I enjoyed FIFA. I understand why people play it, but if you're going to fucking buy the same game every year, you're just supporting shitty practices. And EA has been like that for years. So I don't know how many times we have to say it on this fucking podcast, but why support that?
Okay, so moving away from you don't like EA, you're happy about next level games joining Nintendo's staple.
Yes.
So,
and I want them to make a good soccer game.
So obviously the game you're looking forward to is a new Strikers. That's what you're after.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's something that they made and I really enjoyed.
I do think about Strikers Charge. That is one of the most weirdest and like darkest representations of the Mario franchise ever.
Good.
Yeah, I agree. It's awesome. It's different. It's unique, and it's so different to what Nintendo would make in house. Say, if Miyamoto was like, "Let's make a soccer game," that is not what comes to his head.
No.
But it just makes me wonder. It's like, did Nintendo not necessarily like those decisions, and that is why we haven't seen a Strikers in a long time?
I love how gritty that game is, and it's not gritty in like the sense of, oh, this is dark and brooding. It's gritty in the like, these characters are just fucking getting fucking roughed
done.
up and dirty and fucking, they're having a good time playing sport. And like, you're sitting here playing Mario Golf. It's like, set them up for the tee.
You're like, you shake the Wiimote, and Mario just fucking elbows this like Yoshi in the teeth. It's like nuts.
Yeah.
Press the B button. He does like a massive charge up kick and just like goes through the goalie.
It's like really contact for a non-contact sport. But it is so fun to watch.
Oh, it's good, man.
Holy crap.
Nah.
And play for that matter.
So the sequel, do you think if they make a Strikers game that it's going to be that dark?
They have to make it that way. Like, that is the reason. Like, shit, look at like, you know, the completionists and people like that who have like reviewed the game, completed it, whatever, etc. Right? They all say the same thing, that it is just a awesomely fun game. Even if you're not a fan of soccer, it is a freaking fun game to play.
Yeah, even Strikers on the GameCube, like that is like a super fast soccer game.
Yeah.
I didn't play as much of that one because we didn't have it.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
But like the bits we have played, it's like that is like super fun and just fast as well.
And the tone of the game like helps set that. Like, it's not even just the game itself being fun, but like the tone of it as well. Just the whole roughing up and, you know, going for those super shots and stuff like that. It's all awesome.
I'm just worried because like
I still have a copy of it. Sorry.
I do too. But yeah, Luigi's Mansion 3 just sold so well, so I'm just worried that other games might get looked over because they wanted another, say, I guess more of a bigger game rather than a sports game. But it kind of confuses me why we haven't seen a Mario soccer game or even a soccer game from Nintendo in like since 2008, because soccer is football is the biggest sport in the world, and there's a lot of money to be made from that type of audience. You've got FIFA, which can, you know, kids can play that obviously, but a Mario game in that sort of sports genre could really get that. Yeah. Because like, you know, golf never stopped and tennis never stopped, so why did Strikers stop?
Because they're lazy.
They're lazy.
No.
They're just on the couch. Nah, not today.
Not today. But no, seriously, no, bring it back. Bring it back. Honestly. And if there was a better time to do it now with the budget that they're given, holy crap, that would be good.
Yeah,
it'd be really good.
Looking forward to it.
Look how good Luigi's Mansion was with half the budget.
Yeah, well, I don't know what their budget was, but
yeah, but it wouldn't be as much as they probably have as a first party developer.
Yeah, just with the success like they've had with Luigi's Mansion, the next game they're going to be put on is going to be massive. It's going to be awesome.
Huge.
Yeah.
I'm so much looking forward to it, and that's why I'm like praying that it's like, please.
Yeah, and you know, they might get games out a bit quicker than Retro, hopefully.
Yeah, poor Retro. I feel like they're in a real slump recently. It sucks because they're a good studio.
Yeah, they're a fantastic studio.
Anyway, move on.
Yeah, so we got a Bowser's Fury trailer. So Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury.
Yeah.
Nintendo said, "Hey, there's going to be a trailer at it was 1 o'clock in the morning our time." And at the time, I was around at Bryce's and the trailer dropped, so we watched it together. It was a nice little date.
Yeah.
It's a finale to our date, really.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, because you're like, oh wait, the trailer's dropped.
Oh, the trailer.
It's like, okay, we'll watch the trailer first on my big 65-inch nice TV.
Yeah, just point at your size of your TV.
Yeah, that's right.
Bryce isn't making up for anything else here. He's just like, my TV's big, but you know.
Listen, mate, I just wanted the best out of my next gen gaming console. All right, so I went and bought a new. No, I had to buy a new TV. My old TV was terrible, so I went for that big old nice next gen experience.
Absolutely,
fair call.
Absolutely. I'll be doing it too when I get around to getting a TV, which will be a while.
Yeah, but still, yeah.
Bowser's Fury trailer. I've got to admit, when I was watching it, I was like, "Holy fuck, yes!"
Yeah, it looks awesome.
I was loving it. But just like basically the gist of the trailer, if you haven't seen it, this is like a bit of an add-on to the 2013 Wii U game. And it looks absolutely fantastic. Basically,
Yeah.
for Bowser's Fury, it looks like you're in a bit of a, not an overworld, but a bit bigger world where you sort of progress through it to collect sort of shrines.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the sort of the shrines from Mario.
Shines.
Shines from Mario Sunshine.
Cat coins or something.
Yeah, cat coins, whatever you want to call them. Doesn't really matter. But you're collecting them, and it looks like you got to collect them to activate the big cat bell to take on Bowser. And just like the look of Bowser, just like from an artistic point of view, looks absolutely awesome. I haven't just been like fuck yes at like a Mario thing. Like, you know, Mario's like the thing that's like it's relaxing. It's, you know, the music's like it takes you to a magical place. But this was like hell yeah, like, you know, banging my head to the music, and I absolutely love it. I cannot wait to play this. I went from like, you know what, do I need to play 3D World again? Great game, but do I need to spend $80 to play it again? Not necessarily.
No.
But this, I'm like, when it drops, I'm going to be jumping straight into Bowser's Fury and really playing it. Even if I expect it to be like a 3 to 5 hour sort of experience. Nothing too much. I expect it to be like a, you know, an added bonus on top of the game, not a brand new game for those of us that have played it before. But yeah, man, really looking forward to getting into this.
I feel like it's going to be a big year for Nintendo bad guys. I mean, Bowser's Fury. If Breath of the Wild 2 comes out, think about Ganondorf. Like, obviously, he's going to make a return.
They're going to release Skyward Sword, and there's going to be a bonus mode called Ganondorf's Taxidermy. where he's just sitting at the counter, and you've got to take in like, oh, you know, I really want to put a deer on my wall. So, well, go and get me a deer. So you go out and you hunt a deer with your bow and arrow, and
he does taxidermy to metal music.
Yeah, it's like crafting. It's like, oh, now I need some stone to fill its head with. Can you go and get me some?
My point is that, you know, like, obviously Bowser's looking badass in this or whatever. We're obviously expecting some Ganondorf shenanigans in Breath of the Wild 2. So provided that comes this year,
yeah,
that's going to be awesome, because that was like sort of an omnipresent missing from Breath of the Wild, but it's obviously going to be a huge deal in Breath of the Wild 2. Like, honestly, it's going to be good. And I agree. I think this looks awesome. I'm sort of in the same boat though, but I'm actually still in the middle. Mainly because I would like to play this, but I don't know how long of an experience it's going to be attached to 3D World. So if it's only like an hour or two experience, I think honestly I could just pop by yours, play it, and be satisfied with it. Yeah. I honestly don't think it's going to be like an encroaching 10 to 20 hour experience or anything like that.
No.
It does not look like that at all. No. And it is a shame, because that looks awesome, and I feel like that could be used as a concept of its own game. You know, in just in general.
So Breath of the Wild, where like giant Bowser is literally like Hyrule Castle in Breath of the Wild.
Well, that's almost what it's like in this, right?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
Is that it is an overlooming sense of like, oh shit, there's something big there, and as I progress further, it's getting worse. Oh dear. And I think
he's getting furious.
And I think that's awesome. But at the same time, I feel like a whole world ender Bowser scenario would be absolutely awesome just on its own, as its own experience. Like, you think of like Mario Galaxy and stuff like that, where he goes nice and big, and just wants to do his old thing.
You're going to do a ground pound on the planet, and it's going to do a shockwave. Like, oh, I'm going to jump over it.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, like stuff like that. That in itself, like that was an awesome experience, and we all know how much of a gem Galaxy was, and Galaxy 2, and like how they were fantastic games. And I feel like this could be something on top of that would be huge. And I feel like that's something that could have happened with like Odyssey instead of this, and it could have been like an actual full expansion, because everybody's still sort of like reeling on the fact of like, did I really not do any DLC at all for Mario Odyssey? Like, one of the biggest Mario games in such a long time. Like, it would have been awesome to have seen something like that in Odyssey, where it's just like, you know, a whole bunch of new worlds and stuff like that, where you have this furious Bowser impeding your progress like throughout the whole thing. And it's kind of like a Blood Moon scenario, where like as you progress and you do more things in the world, eventually Bowser's just going to get pissed off and try to impede your progress until you can manage to do something. Like, that would have been awesome to see in Odyssey. Here I feel like it's going to be very restricted to, like, while it does look a lot more open, it does look like there is a lot of set paths to follow to actually achieve the goal, which means that it's not really moving on from the 3D World formula.
Yeah, I expect it to it is built in the 3D World engine. It's not it's not Mario Odyssey, so it would be actually quite weird swapping between the two modes in the same game if it was as open as it looks.
Yeah. Which is But I like, you know what I mean? I feel like this concept is such a cool idea that it could be a thing on its own. And whether it's going to be a waste here or whether it's going to be a massive success is still sort of beyond grasp just yet.
Yeah.
But hopefully they do it well. And I'm kind of hoping that, maybe they'll do something a bit more with the concept in the future. Because, as we know, for many years, it's just been all about, look, it's a princess, capture her. Or, look, it's this thing, capture it.
Look, there's this big thing. Fucking run.
My name is Bowser, and I am in a traditional Mario RPG. I am now a good guy. It's never really changed.
We have teamed up.
Yeah, that's right. And that's how it's always happened with the RPGs. But as time goes forward, it is sort of just like seeing stuff like this is really unique and awesome. And I think that's why the hype level is high, because seeing something that's not just me go kidnap princess or, me join up so we can beat bigger bad so I can go back to kidnapping princess, it's good. It's good. And it looks awesome. And I would love to see them explore it in another concept, hopefully past this. So we'll see. Yeah,
we'll see how it goes. Like, maybe we're wrong and it's like a 15-hour experience.
It might be.
Who knows?
And if it is, I'll buy it.
Yeah.
Because you know what? 3D World attached, I don't really care too much about 3D World at all. But
so you're like one of the only people that, you could take it or leave it. 3D World.
Yeah.
I feel like.
Yeah. Well,
which is fair enough,
Like, I don't think... I've always said that I really don't think 3D World is anything to write home about. It's a decent little experience, but it's not a masterpiece. Like, it's just another Mario game to me. And furthermore to the fact that the one on the 3DS was probably a bit better, personally. But that being said, looks like a cool addition. I'd just like to see the concept used elsewhere instead of just this.
Yeah, I think it is really actually quite special being able to play multiplayer Mario. I think that's a lot of fun.
Oh, don't get me wrong.
And that's an experience that no other 3D Mario game offers. So this is something that's going to be a lot of fun, especially if you've got maybe a family or a small household with a few gamers in there. You're going to have a lot of fun with this game. Even now with online multiplayer that's been added in this, I guess, deluxe version, and you've got a couple of friends in 4-player, I reckon it's going to be a ton of fun. So I don't think that's... I think that's something a lot of people might forget as well. Like, it is, if you're sort of tired of 3D Mario because you've played through 3 of the older ones with the 3D All-Stars, I think you could still have a lot of fun playing the 4-player multiplayer, whether it's online or couch.
Yeah. It is an experience for the people that want it. I just feel like, as somebody who played through it solo, it didn't offer much for me at all, and I don't think that would have changed with other people. But if you're looking for something to play with other people, it's not a bad game. It's just, I don't think personally my experience would have changed. But I was also looking for the next big 3D Mario at that time. That time it came out, which is obviously not until Odyssey. So
yeah,
it was a big thing for me. Like, at that point, last thing I played was Sunshine. That was the last big 3D Mario. That was a long time, even prior to that.
Yeah.
So
yeah, fair enough. And sort of on Twitter afterwards, they announced a limited edition Nintendo Switch to come out. So it's basically with an all-red dock, and the Switch itself, instead of being black, it's red, which is the first limited edition to actually change its color, rather than just have different imprints on the back of it, which actually looks really nice.
Yeah.
And it's got, special edition Joy-Cons with the blue grips and the blue, I guess you call the actual things, the Joy-Cons slide into a grip. So that's blue. So sort of reminiscent on Mario's overalls. Looks pretty cool. I've actually got this pre-ordered because...
Why not?
Because what the fuck not, I guess.
That's you and 3DS consoles... 3DS. Any console made by Nintendo in a nutshell.
Yeah, pretty much. So how I justify it is, my Switch is 4 years old and it's got a crack in it and the battery's not as good, and I can update it for $200 and I can get the limited edition and it'll be a brand new thing. And even if, the Pro console comes out in 12 months, I've still got a limited edition console, for the shelf or whatever.
I can't do that because I actually had to repair my Switch and I had to put a custom back on it to repair it. So I can't trade in mine.
So poo-poo for you. So that's how I justify it in my head. I've put a deposit down. Whether I actually go through with it or not, I don't know.
You know, I probably could get rid of some of my fucking old crap too, if I really wanted it.
I don't know. The thing about it is it looks nice, and it looks nice to me because I absolutely love red. Red is my favorite color. So like, having a red dock and a red switch, I'm like, yes. But as a Mario fan, it doesn't really speak to me as a Mario fan.
No, it doesn't.
It just speaks to me as a red switch, to be honest.
Yeah.
So
the first actual change in color scheme.
yeah, so that's why it speaks to me. But as a Mario fan, I'm not. It doesn't have like a Mario logo or anything like that on it.
I think I might hold my horses this year because if this is happening now with Mario, I'm almost expecting a Zelda one. So, and that to me will be like, yep, thanks.
Yeah, I mean even Pokemon as well, which we'll get into now. Like it's the 25th anniversary, and we got a release date for Pokemon Snap with a brand new trailer as well, and it's coming out on the 30th of April.
Yeah,
it's up for pre-order now. If you want to pre-order this far out for whatever reason. I think we learnt from last year with CD Projekt Red and that shenanigans, but maybe don't pre-order so early. But I don't think that would be on that level of things. I think we've seen a bit of this game, but so it's a game people have been looking forward to since being announced early last year.
Mm-hmm.
So looking forward to getting into this game as well. Looks like a fun little romp to go through and take photos of everything and just be a nice little friendly, heartwarming game. I don't think it would be like the biggest game of the year or anything, but it's definitely a title from our childhood and many other people's childhood, our age, where we have a lot of nostalgia for Pokemon Snap.
Yeah. This is something that has always been asked for.
Yeah, and it's very pretty as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, coming out soon.
Keen.
And also the Pokemon Company sort of announced their plans for the 25th anniversary of the Pokemon series. And there's a lot of merch stuff going on, so you can get like a limited edition skateboard by, I'm not sure of the artist's name, but you can go and check that out. I'm not a skateboarder, so it doesn't really faze me too much.
He was a skater boy. He's a
but
boy.
Through their trailer where they sort of did like one of the YouTube sort of domino effect videos where like, they set off a train and it hits a domino and it knocks something over and it just continues the whole thing. It's a really cool little announcement trailer, which if you haven't seen, go and check it out. It'll be on Pokemon's YouTube channel, but it sort of ends up with announcing that there's going to be a year-long music collaboration, and I guess the main feature artist who they've announced at the moment is Katy Perry.
Yeah.
And personally, like I don't know what it is about Pokemon, but like in the games itself, I absolutely love the music, and that sort of carried on through the anime and gone to like YouTube covers and YouTube original songs and stuff. So I'm always listening to Pokemon music. That's just the type of big nerd I am. So the idea that they're actually collaborating with like big pop stars really does excite me. This is probably the most exciting announcement from this slate of announcements, apart from Pokemon Snap, obviously.
I would imagine the Bump of Chicken one was probably more exciting for you, though.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, I really liked Bump of Chicken in high school, but it didn't sound Pokemon, if you know what I mean. That song. But yeah, no, that was a cool song too. But
you're saying that like you've heard the whole Katy Perry track and you're like, oh yes, this embodies Pokemon.
Yeah, that's the thing. Obviously, we haven't heard any of the music, but I'm not so much these days. But I was a big Katy Perry fan. So.
Yes, you are a big Katy Perry song. No, the thing is though,
Drew Agnew by Katy Perry
is when you're thinking about it. Though, the first Pokemon music that comes to your head is more like, I wanna be the winner. I wanna be the very best Pokemon. You too. So when you hear this Katy Perry song, you'll be like, "What the fuck? This isn't my Gen 4 remix I wanted."
Yeah, Katy Perry's like, "This is my song. It's called Jigglypuff." It's like, "I'm a Jigglypuff in a little world, puffing around like a little puff."
Yeah. As much as it is going to be something that is. They're like, oh yeah, this is a song about Pokemon, but it is not going to be a song that's going to be like, me with my best bud Pikachu. It's going to be more like, it's going to be on the veins of Firework, where it's just like...
I love that song though.
Yes.
So I'll be happy.
Yes, but...
If it's just like a hit, if it's just like a really poppy sounding Katy Perry song that's about, I don't know, Pikachu, I'll be happy. Don't ruin my dreams,
You're
Bryce.
just a Katy Perry fan, okay? Let's just put it out there.
Yeah, I am.
Right?
I am.
That is what it is.
That is, yeah.
Yeah, you're like I don't listen to Bumper Chicken nowadays, but fucking Katy Perry, I can bang to that.
I can bang to that.
Yeah, to that, not her.
Whoa.
All right,
Whoa.
calm yourself down.
I'm
You had to think about that for a second. You're like, oh shit, he's figured me out. Anyway,
I just said I can. You said you can bang to that, and I'm like, yes, I can. I'm talking about my head while I'm listening to the song, Bryce. You sick puppy. Ladies and gentlemen, Bryce DeWitt is a disgusting man.
I am not.
I am not. All right. So very cool stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Looking forward to seeing more of it. Obviously, Pokemon Day coming up on the 27th, I believe. Hopefully getting a few more announcements for some of their plans in 2021, hopefully. And hopefully that involves, a brand new game, which a lot of leakers and a lot of, I guess, general knowledge is that it's going to be pointing towards a Pokemon Diamond and Pearl remake from the 4th generation.
A lot of domains have been re-enabled and stuff.
Oh, Bryce, don't you say yeah. I know you're not the biggest fan of Gen 4, but, let us have this, mate. Let us have this.
Now listen, mate, that wasn't a fucking in fucking dismay.
Mm-mm.
It was a in I've heard it and seen all the leaks already, and I kind of wish they'd just fuck off.
Yeah.
Because to be honest, like Centro Pokemon leaks, all right, that they put up their Twitter page around the time that Sword and Shield was starting to be leaked out, and they'd never really been prominent before that. But they've been a page for 12 years on the internet. Like, they've been around for a long time, and as soon as anything Pokemon comes up, somebody's liked or retweeted or whatever from Centro Pokemon leaks, and they're like, oh yeah, this has been re-enabled. I'm like, great. Does it mean anything though, or are people just gonna fucking get excited about over nothing? Because as accurate as Centro have been, re-enabling a website doesn't always mean anything, and we've learnt that a million times before. So why make a big fucking deal about it? And because Centro said it, everybody's going off their nut, and I'm like, who cares?
Yeah.
Who cares?
I read it and I also went, yeah, well, kind of assumed that.
Yeah.
And if that doesn't happen, well,
Shit happens. But, you're getting people hyped up over nothing. And then at the end of the year, we're going to get the same thing. There was no Diamond and Pearl remakes. Yeah. I'm honestly like, fucking, I don't care. I don't care anymore. We were having a discussion before the show. I'm like, release a collection of Pokemon games. Gen 4, Gen 5 DS games. Put them in a collection. Diamond, Pearl, Platinum. Black, White, Black 2, White 2. Put them in a collection.
Yeah.
I would be happy.
It's funny, Game Freak will be a lot happy with that too, because that is a lot less work.
That is a fucking shit ton less work.
So, all right, Bryce, tell you what. Good idea, mate. We'll portal these to the Switch, and then we'll have the rest of the year off. All right?
I'm good with that.
They're like, yeah, that's right.
I am literally good with that. Because I would just like to play those games again, because like we were saying before, the scarcity of Pokemon games in the modern world, like just getting the old cartridges again, is fucking ridiculous, and you literally can't play them anymore.
Yeah, see, I would love a collection. I think that would be fantastic, just bringing those games to the Switch, because obviously the Game Boy and Game Boy Color games were ported to 3DS through the Virtual Console, but on the Switch, there's just no way to play games except for Let's Go Pikachu and Sword and Shield. So having access to some of those older games through the Virtual Console or a collection or whatever have you, that'd be great. But that definitely does not sort of make up for a big holiday Pokemon release.
I don't care.
I do. All right, we're moving on. A lot of people care.
I don't care. At the end of the day, look, I want them. I think at the end of the day, I think they can do it better justice, and it could work better, and they've got a lot to answer for when it comes to Sword and Shield. But at the end of the day, why do we put so much hope and riding on things that they're going to do if it's just going to let us down every time and everybody's going to have a bitch fit about it?
Oh yeah.
I've stopped hoping. I've stopped hoping about what's going to come and what's not going to come.
Yeah,
because
we've been dragged into it before, where it's just like, you know what, we're not getting a Pokemon game this year, and then they do a direct and like, oh look, there's Ho-Oh behind him. There's going to be a Let's Go Johto, and you get sucked into the hype. And it's like, why did I believe that? Like every bit of my brain was saying, why the fuck would they make a Let's Go Johto in 2020? Why would they do that?
Yeah,
but you still get hooked into it.
But if you get sucked into it, that's what happens. And that's why I've started saying I don't give a shit. Because at the end of the day, it's going to happen whenever it wants to happen. And if it's going to happen at all, it'll happen when it wants to happen. But with the way people hype up Pokemon announcements, like with Sword and Shield and all that and stuff like that, and only to be disappointed and just cause an internet shit fest like the whole Dex issue. Why do we get our hopes up? Don't. You will just set yourself up for disappointment in the future. And I'm glad I didn't get my hopes up that high with Sword and Shield, because in the end, I ended up enjoying it a lot better than treating it like it was my baby. You know?
Yeah. Like, we're pretty sure a Pokemon game is going to come out this year.
Yeah, certain. It's anniversary.
It's anniversary. Like, there's no chance Game Freak doesn't have a game coming out. And we pretty much know what it will be. It will be like, it'll be the same generation Sword and Shield, so it'll be running off that engine, and it'll be in the Sinnoh region. Like, there's not too much more than that. It'll be fun. But I'm not going to put too much expectations that we're going to get, great post-game content and all that. Like,
that's what I mean.
Keep on
and
harping on about.
That is absolutely what I'm getting at, is people are like, oh, Diamond and Pearl remakes. We want Diamond and Pearl remakes. It's like, yeah, you're going to get that probably in some sort of form of respect, but you're not going to get it the way you expected it. And that's how it is. I mean, look at Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire.
Yeah, they're fine, but they weren't
fine.
They weren't remakes of like my favorite game.
No,
they weren't. They weren't
there was no friggin' Battle Frontier or anything like that. Like the stuff that you would want in it, it was just kind of okay. And that's exactly what these are going to be. They're not going to be your nostalgia-driven trip through history. Like even Let's Go, that wasn't like that for Kanto. It was its own experience.
Yeah.
And this is the same way this is going to go. Don't get your expectations up and then fucking shit on the internet constantly, because it's not going to come out the way you want. You're going to be upset about it. And this is why I don't get hyped for it anymore.
Yeah.
I just let it go, see how it goes, whatever. And then complain about it later if it doesn't meet my expectations, but just not on the same level some people do.
It'll be interesting to see how sort of, COVID-19 and 2020 impacted development too, and what the product at the end of this year is going to entail as well.
Which is a problem.
Yeah, because we know they moved to the Nintendo building in Tokyo, so we'll see, because that's obviously a lot more people, a lot more bigger city, a lot more impact as far as that goes. So whether they still got the product out or it will be a less product or what, we'll find out when it's announced, and we'll be following it a lot of this year.
Yeah.
So this is an interesting one. So this is from myNintendoNews.com. So the title is games on the eShop now can't be sold for less than $2 according to indie dev SMG Studios. So over the years, the games on Nintendo Switch eShop have been sold for as little as a penny. But now it would seem that Nintendo has a new rule in place that stops any digital game from being listed less than $2. In the past, quite often you would see some chart being dominated by cheaply priced games, but according to a Def Squared developer, SMG Studio on Reddit, the new rules seem to have to be imposed, so the lowest price you'll see for a new game is now $2. So this was interesting because the eShop is just plagued with games.
Shovel, yeah.
Just stuff that goes on sale all the time, and that's just because how the eShop works is somewhat broken, that if you put out a game that's full priced, it won't be found unless it's like a popular game. Whether it's a Nintendo game or a very well-known indie game, you probably won't find it. So a lot of developers are sort of going for the strategy of just constantly putting it on sale and putting it for like, $1, and then that bumps it up in the charts. People see it, then the sale ends. It goes, back to $20 or the original price. And that's how they sort of manipulate Nintendo's eShop to, get sales. Nintendo looks like they've stepped in a bit instead of saying, all right, instead of $1, it's now $2. Like, there's a bit of a buffer there. I guess that's just a bit of an interesting caveat.
Mm-hmm.
And this one is from Nintendo Enthusiast. And Animal Crossing New Horizons yearly sales weren't Nintendo's best. New Horizons yearly sales were Nintendo's best since Wii Fit Plus.
Ooh.
So there's a fair gap between there, isn't there?
Yeah.
So the article reads, we now move into the new year. More and more data is being released on Nintendo's 2020 games industry sales. As reported, Nintendo has had a pretty great success year across the board. With that, of course, includes Nintendo Switch hardware as the system continues to push numbers and break records. However, software has been a huge part to play, especially Animal Crossing New Horizons. The NPD Group's sales numbers for 2020 reflected how the latest Animal Crossing has done incredibly well for Nintendo. However, NPD only counts the US physical sales for counts US physical sales for Nintendo Switch. Even so, New Horizons has achieved the highest physical dollar sales for a Nintendo published game in a decade. You have to go back to Wii Fit Plus to find similar numbers, a game that was incredibly tough to find at launch. So a big gap between sort of sales figures there for Nintendo. It's funny because I got no idea how much Wii Fit Plus sold. That was one I never bought. I had enough of Wii Fit. I was feeling fit enough after the first Wii Fit.
Yeah, that's right.
So, yeah, it's just been a massive year for Nintendo as far as sales go. So we'll wrap up the news with a bit of sales. And this is from gamesindustry.biz. And the title is 2020 sees record US game spending at $56 billion. So US games sales have gained new heights in 2020, with total spending reaching $56 billion. That's a 27% increase year on year, according to tracking firm MPD's latest report. Software represented the vast majority of this figure, with the game content spending reaching $48.9 billion in 2020. That include physical and digital games, DLC, and subscriptions across console, cloud, mobile, portable, PC, and VR platforms. So Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War was the best-selling game of 2020, followed by another COD title, Modern Warfare. It's the 12th year in a row that Call of Duty franchise is on top of the annual US charts, a record. And Animal Crossing New Horizons made it to number 3, so only beaten by 2 Call of Duty games, which, that's just a sort of a given at this point. Yeah. Call of Duty is not going to be stopped.
It's strange. It's strange this year for COD. I really don't know how it sold that much. I want to know how much got refunded, considering that game is destroying consoles, and they still haven't fixed it. I'm very, very angry about that.
Yeah, and another quote from this article sort of later on as well. So the annual dollar sales for Nintendo Switch hardware were the second highest of any individual platform in a single calendar year in US history. Sort of the only the 2008 dollar sales of Nintendo Wii were higher. So just like a phenomenal year for the Switch. Had the percentage of Nintendo's, it was the best-selling platform for the year in the US as well. It's like 86% of all platforms, but I can't find it at the moment. Yeah. So yeah, just an absolutely phenomenal year for Switch. We'll see what 2021 actually entails if they release any games and actually push it.
Yeah, that's right.
They got away with it last year, just with Animal Crossing was such a success.
Oh yeah, right off.
You could imagine if Animal Crossing wasn't the success and it sort of did how you might expect it to, like what would 2020 look like for them? It might have been not a disaster, but it might have been like a pretty concerning thing for the brand.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, but no, they really did well overall. Yeah. It's one of those places that benefited from COVID somehow.
Yeah. No, video games definitely did benefit.
Yeah.
And if you wanted to play video games, well, I guess you benefited too if you got an excuse to stay at home.
Yeah, that's right.
Somewhat. That's a good way to look at it. Yeah. So, Bryce, you've only got a little bit of time left, do you?
Literal minutes, probably.
Literal minutes. All right. Yeah. We'll get through some Red Coin recommendations and we'll wrap up the show. How do you feel about that, mate?
Sure. Go for it.
Go for it?
Go for it.
Am I going to go for it?
Yep.
Right now?
Yep.
Yeah, sorry.
Do it right now.
Do it right now. All right, guys. So this week we've got 3 recommendations, and the first one is maybe an obvious one if you've been on the eShop in the last week. But Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, the game Complete Edition, comes to Nintendo Switch after years of disappearing from digital shops.
If you have not played that game, play it. I literally kept an Xbox 360 for that game. Really did. Yeah. Amazing game.
So,
how much is it worth?
It's $22.
That's a fucking steal.
It is, isn't it?
That comes with all the DLC too.
Yeah, and online multiplayer, which wasn't featured in the original version.
Exactly. So
rediscover the beloved 2D arcade-style beat-em-up, inspired by the iconic comic book series and Scott Pilgrim vs. the World in this complete edition. So, check that one out. You probably heard about it before, but now you heard about it again. So this is what we got here. And I've got another one here called Rhythm Fighter. So this is a roguelike horizontal action game that players need to follow the beats to defeat opponents. Beats to follow, fist the bone, face the foe, dance to kill. So it looks like a pretty cool little
Cool.
a fighting rhythm game. Check out the link in the show notes if you want to check out sort of the artwork and stuff. It looks really nice. That's what it looks like, Bryce.
What the fuck?
That's just the inventory. I'm trying to.
It's something like that looks like a real
There you
good
go.
fighting. Ah, yes.
Just looking over at the screenshot.
And
And I'll let you read one, Bryce. There you go, mate.
Sure.
This is one I picked out. It actually looks quite nice.
We got down in Bermuda here, right? It's actually 60% off at the moment.
Yes.
At $9.99.
So they're abusing the eShop right there. They know what's going on.
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, this game is usually $24.99, down to $9.99. So that's a pretty good price, right? That's a good start for it, right?
Yeah, great start.
The description for the game is: overcome creatures of the deep and unravel the island's secrets in search for a way back home. An unnatural storm leaves an adventurous aviator stranded for decades within the infamous Bermuda. Overcome creatures of the deep and unravel the island's secrets in search for a way back home. Down in Bermuda is a quirky adventure film. Jesus, I can't read today. Down in Bermuda is a quirky adventure-filled. Why does it not have game there? With puzzles to solve and mysteries to uncover. Badly worded. The adventurous aviator Milton finds himself trapped in a time bubble deep inside the Bermuda and needs your help to escape. It is one person supported to 432 megabytes. It is made by Yak.
Well, there you go.
There you go. I can't talk today.
Yeah, well,
This is why I went quiet in the second half, because I'm like,
now you know what I feel like every day.
yeah, I'm sure. No, listen, if I started off talking like the whole time, I might have been alright. But I just lose myself when I stop talking. After talking for a bit, when I stop talking, eventually I just go.
You like a snowball.
Yes, that's right. I melt. It looks really interesting. It's kind of like an isometric view game with what seems to be just puzzles, I guess.
Yeah, so it's a puzzle game, and it reminds me of Old Man's Journey, which I actually really enjoyed on Xbox Game Pass.
Yeah, I watched you play it.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just like a really quite sweet puzzle game, Old Man's Journey. So
That's cool.
it sort of reminded me of that. That's why I brought it up. And
Yeah.
it's quite cheap as well.
Yeah, that's right.
Only $10 instead of 25. So
But the real winner here is definitely Scott Pilgrim versus the World. If you have not played that game, it is, it has been out a long time now. And honestly, it is one of the funnest arcade beat 'em ups I've ever played, and I've played it so many times. And it's a relatively short experience, but if you liked anything to do with Scott Pilgrim versus the World, you will enjoy that game. It is awesome.
yeah, and Limited Games are bringing out a special edition too, a physical copy. So I know a lot of people are keen for that because they're worried it might disappear again,
Yeah,
which is a decent, fear.
yeah.
You're a fan of that, yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and I mean, it is a genuine concern. That is why I kept an Xbox with a digital copy of it. Because I knew I wasn't going to be able to ever find it again. And as far as I know, as far as emulation goes, I don't know if it's emulatable. I have no idea.
I don't know. Was it on PC?
No.
Yeah, so probably not.
I kind of hope they put it on PC just for longevity.
Hmm.
That'd be nice, but
Yeah.
we'll see.
All right, Bryce. Well, since we're limited for time now, we'll
Limited run games. Yep.
Reggie can stay in his rec room for a bit longer. He's been actually itching to talk to us, but he can stay there, bugger him.
What are you talking about? He's been on vacation. You haven't noticed?
No,
Have you heard any noise coming from the room?
no. I was wondering why the dishes weren't done.
Well,
Bloody
yeah.
hell, Reggie.
Yeah, he went for a vacation, mate.
Reggie, where are you?
Even I knew that, and I literally have not sat here for a month. So I don't know what the fuck you're doing, but obviously you don't talk to your housemate much,
No, I don't.
like at all.
Only when we podcast, I go, "What's up, Reggie?" He goes, "Hi."
Hi, fans. Reggie here. Thank you for your never-ending support.
Hi, Nintendo.
Oh, he's here. Oh, shut up, Reggie. We'll talk to you next week. All right, guys.
Wow. I'm Reggie, and I am disappointed.
All right, guys. Thank you very much for listening to the House of Mario, episode 173. If you enjoy the show, you can check us out on all the podcast services. Leave us a review. It really does help us reach some new audiences.
Nummy.
And all that fun stuff. You can follow me on Twitter at IDruby. You can follow Bryce at IvyGreven. And you can follow the show at the House of Mario for all the updates and everything. When we're going to go live, what we're doing for our, 20th 25th year anniversary Pokemon stuff. Jeez, words are hard, Bryce. You're right, mate.
I told you.
They're hard.
And it's a little bit of that XPA too. I feel like.
Yeah. See, I feel like it's a bad idea drinking and trying to like be on the ball.
Nah, it's all right.
I don't know.
It's all right. This podcast is all about relaxing. We're not a big professional production. You know, we have some professional production gear, but you know, we're not here to make money. We're here to talk about shit.
It was just like here, like, I've got all my paperwork ready and we're ready to make some money.
Paperwork.
Paperwork.
Very important. Yes.
I've got the show laid out on my Excel file.
Oh, yes.
Oh,
Excel.
yes.
Oh, yes. I love myself a good spreadsheet.
If you want to Excel, you've got to use Excel.
Excuse me, sir. Do you have a PowerPoint on this so I could read it all up later?
Yes, my kid in year 7 actually used it to do his project at school.
Very good on a projector, I presume.
Yeah, oh yes, you've got to show the class.
Yes, on the projector. PowerPoint.
Yes, PowerPoint is good.
PowerPoint. Very pointy power.
Yes. My kid did a project all about beavers and the influence on the environment. If you take the beavers away, they will not make the dams and the dams will overflow and, my God, environmental disaster.
Oh dear, yes. Beavers are very important. Just like PowerPoint.
PowerPoint.
How would you tell me that without PowerPoint?
I don't know. We can't use words, so we need to use PowerPoint.
That's right. You can't use Publisher, so you need to use Excel.
I wouldn't use Publisher.
Fucking Excel.
I use Word. What about those days when you didn't have Publisher, so you had to like do with the images in Word and it just like doesn't fit in
God,
properly?
don't even remind me. That.
Oh.
Nightmarish hell.
When's the last time you used Microsoft Office?
Not in a long time since Open Office existed because it's just as good and it's free.
It's like, Yeah, it's a bit weird how you got to do a whole year subscription just because you want to write on your computer.
You know what's worse? Is like
What's worse,
most times you go into education, they're just like, do you have basic knowledge of Microsoft Word? It's like, no, because I use a better writing program that's free. And they're like, oh, well, that's too bad because you're going to have to know. It's just like, great, so I'll Google it.
You're just like, oh, how do I format my words?
Oh no, how do I find the format button? It's like, Google, tell me how to find the format button. It's like, here it is. It's like, cool. Hooray, I learned how to use Microsoft Word. My point being, fuck Microsoft Office.
All right, that's Bryce's point. If you're going to take anything away from the podcast, that's going to be it.
We are not Microsoft Office sponsored.
No.
Sorry.
Not yet.
No.
Got some connections through Phil Spencer.
Stop.
Stop.
Never.
I thought you were telling me to stop. Stop.
Stop.
All right, we are stopping the podcast.
All right.
This week's Nintendo Jukebox is Hyrule Field by Youngtown and G. Gill. It's a banger from 2013, which... That's how it goes. Anyway, guys, the doors to this episode of the House of Mario are closed. Catch you later.
Bye.
Ever since I was little, I wondered why I felt so different. These nightmares aren't a custom, I must uncover this vision. We had adventures in the lost woods you had claimed were sacred. Even under my doe's enslavement, you said that I was your favorite. But when the moment finally had arrived, the coherence sorted on what it should that I abide cannot protect me from this feeling inside. Will miss a lot of years, which is an appealing to my heart pieces. I'm seeking a freaking replacement, cause this stupid fairy Nav, he doesn't know what she is saying. My doe was psycho, blaming me for the death tree's devastation. It's difficult to leave you, but this emerald is complicated. Yeah, kinda like our friendship, and it could possibly be us together in the future. But hey, thanks for this ocarina. See ya! I will remember all the times that we shared, yeah. I'll never forget you, though I must leave you right here for that of a lifetime. Now that I'm gone, all these girls toy with my hearts. It's driving me cuckoo that I have to avoid all these guards. So do I really have to listen when Zelda is tripping about her prophetic dreams? We were only two adolescent naive kids, but a hero was what this legend needs. Empathy teaches me this lullaby, though the lyrics are unknown. And afterwards I must go reclaim two more spiritual stones. When I return, we'll open this door of time to protect what's most valuable. Though when I show up to see you, you have to go. Ganondorf never to understand what you are planning to do. Make the planet yours, though you'll never vanish, for I am challenging you. I might just be a child, but do not underestimate my courage. Time permitting, I shall lift your curses when I arrive in my final version. So goodbye, bye to this fairy ocarina. I've been given the last key to protect Hyrule from all of this evil. When the song of time is played, the stone spectacles will shine. Now I can show my destiny at this pedestal of time. I will remember all the times that we shared, yeah. I'll never forget you, though I must leave you right here.